Have you ever spent an entire day around people, talking to colleagues, replying to messages, scrolling through social media, maybe even spending time with family, and yet, at the end of the day, you still felt completely alone? If you have, you're not the only one. In fact, one of the biggest myths about loneliness is that it's caused by being alone. Psychology suggests something very different. You can be surrounded by people and still feel lonely. And that's exactly why loneliness has become such a growing problem in today's world. Because loneliness isn't about the number of people in your life. It's about the quality of connection you feel with them. Today, let's explore why so many people feel alone in a crowded world and what psychology teaches us about overcoming it. When most people think about loneliness, they imagine someone sitting alone with no friends or family. But loneliness is actually a subjective experience. In simple terms, loneliness happens when there's a gap between the connection you want and the connection you feel. That's why two people can have completely different experiences. One person may have only a few close relationships and feel deeply connected. Another may have hundreds of social media contacts and still feel lonely. The problem isn't always the absence of people. Sometimes it's the absence of meaningful connection, and that's where modern life creates a challenge. Today, we are more connected than ever before. We can message someone instantly, join online communities, see what people are doing every minute of the day. Yet many people report feeling increasingly lonely. Why? Because connection and contact are not the same thing. You can have constant contact with people without experiencing genuine connection. Think about how many conversations happen every day that stay on the surface. We talk about work, weather, news, tasks. But how often do we talk about what we're actually feeling? How often do we feel truly understood? Psychologists have long suggested that humans have a fundamental need to belong. We don't just need people around us. We need relationships where we feel accepted, valued, and emotionally connected. When those needs aren't met, loneliness can appear even in a crowded room. Social media can make this even more complicated. Now, social media itself isn't the enemy. It helps people stay connected, learn new things, and maintain relationships across long distances. But sometimes it creates an illusion of connection. You see hundreds of updates, photos, stories, comments, yet you may finish scrolling and still feel disconnected. Why? Because observing other people's lives is not the same as participating in meaningful relationships. In some cases, social media can even increase social comparison. You see highlights from other people's lives and begin to wonder why everyone else seems happier, more successful, or more connected. Of course, those snapshots rarely tell the whole story. Another reason loneliness can feel so common is that many people struggle to be emotionally vulnerable. We fear being judged, rejected, misunderstood, so we keep conversations safe and comfortable. But meaningful connection often requires something deeper. It requires honesty. It requires letting people see parts of ourselves that aren't perfect. And that can feel uncomfortable. The strange thing is that many people are waiting for someone else to make the first move, someone else to start the deeper conversation, someone else to reach out, which means everyone can end up feeling disconnected while secretly wanting the same thing: genuine human connection. So what can we do? First, focus on quality rather than quantity. One meaningful relationship is often more valuable than dozens of superficial connections. Second, practice being a little more open with people you trust. Not all at once, not with everyone, but gradually. Real connection grows when people feel safe enough to be authentic. Third, prioritize real-world interactions whenever possible. A phone call, a conversation over coffee, a walk with a friend. These experiences often create a stronger sense of connection than endless online interactions. And finally, if feelings of loneliness are persistent and affecting your well-being, don't hesitate to seek support. Loneliness is a human experience, not a personal failure. Before we end, I want you to remember one thing. Feeling lonely doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It doesn't mean you're weak, and it certainly doesn't mean you're the only one. In a world full of notifications, followers, and constant communication, many people are quietly searching for the same thing: to feel seen, to feel understood, to feel connected. Because at the end of the day, what most of us want isn't more people in our lives. It's deeper connection with the people who are already there. So here's a question for you. Have you ever felt lonely even while being surrounded by people? Share your thoughts respectfully in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to PsychologyClicks for more evidence-based insights into the human mind, relationships, and emotional well-being. And if you'd like to better understand your own experience of loneliness and strengthen meaningful connections, download our free Loneliness Reflection Workbook from the link in the description. The workbook includes reflection exercises, a relationship audit, and practical action steps designed to help you build deeper and more meaningful connections in your daily life. Remember this: feeling lonely doesn't mean something is wrong with you. Loneliness is a human experience, and meaningful connection often begins with small, intentional steps. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.